Lights ready, the flagman just about ready for the start of the 1985 Great Race. They're racing, and Walkinshaw gets a blinder, but so too does Johnson, and Johnson will split them, and so does Grice. Taking on the Jaguars, Walkinshaw made a blinder, but Allan missed the start completely. They head to the first turn, where Walkinshaw from Dick Johnson, they all go through and now make their way up Mountain Straight. A safe start to the 1985 Great Race, with Tom Walkinshaw out in front in Jaguar number 8. Right on his tailpipe, though, is Dick Johnson in 17. Dropping in for the draft as they come up the hill is Jeff Allen. He's already split Dick Johnson and makes his way up now into second place behind the boss.
Great start too by Robbie Francevic, who slotted into third place in front of Allan Grice, and there you can see race cam through the front window of Dick Johnson's Mustang.
Across the mountain, Jags 1-2. Grice getting right on the tail now of Robbie Francevic. And Jim Richards also coming out of the draft, and a good start by Colin Bond.
Down Conrod Straight now for the first time, the first of 163 laps. Dick Johnson initially grabbing a nice start, but something went wrong up towards the top of the mountain, because he's dropped back now to the braking area now for the first time at Murray's Corner, and the man who'll lead them across the line at the end of lap number 1, Tom Walkinshaw, car number 8.
As they turn up Mountain Straight here, you might see there was a mishap on the back of the field. They're going up the mountain the first time. Car there off the left-hand side of the circuit, but there they are, parked there, and there they shall remain for the rest of the day.
There's the number 9 Jag with a lot of work going on there, hurried work in the pit area. Jeff Allen, desperately bad luck for Jeff Allen.
Look at Grice.
Grice ready to do a number here of try and keep out the second Jag. Walkinshaw will be aware of the fact that the 9 car is in the pits. They're one of the most sophisticated two-way talkback systems.
Well, it looks like car number 9 is being pushed to the rear of the pits.
They came with 3, they now have 2.
All the time, though, Walkinshaw is stretching the gap. Just look at this. Here comes Francevic and Grice. Goss parked in behind them.
And if there's one... Oh, and Grice, I would say, has missed the gear.
Yes.
Goss has gone into the back of him.
Grice pulling off to the left-hand side of the track. Is he getting mobile again?
No, the car has dropped out to the back of that pack.
There's problems for Allan Grice. Whatever the problem is, that is not the place where he wants to park for the remainder of the day. Down on the inside, Dick's going to have a go, is he? To the left-hander. So Jim Richards takes Johnson.
And John Goss has slipped by Francevic, so it's Jaguar 1-2 again on the track at the moment. Look at this, Johnson on Mountain Straight, puts the boot in. Close enough to have a chat. Dick gives him the thumbs up and a big smile and says, "Okay, pal, your turn."
But he's got the inside run to the next corner, so Dick loses out on that one.
I've got you covered, Dick. Dick lets him go.
Dick Johnson has some problems here with the number 17 car blowing smoke.
Tilly, I'll have to come in.
But the Davison Kramer Mustang in the sand trap. He's also gone into the fence. Apart from just lobbing into the sand trap, you can see the bonnet on the car pretty second hand.
In the pits, just moving in, is our lead car, the number 8 Tom Walkinshaw Jaguar. The JRA team swarm all over it.
Pit boss giving instructions. The mechanics well drilled here. Walkinshaw is out of the car. Win Percy is taking over at the wheel of the race leader with 33 laps posted by them at this stage. That means they've covered 1/5 of the race distance. 5th place now, the number 8 Jaguar with Win Percy at the wheel up ahead. Johnny Goss then is the race leader at this stage from Peter Brock, then Jim Richards, Robbie Francevic, and then Win Percy in this car.
Oh, trouble!
Up at Hill Corner, there's a hell of a pile-up. It's 2 of the BMWs.
Richards and Fury. It's Fury in the Crichton car at the moment with the red helmet on. Unbelievably bad luck for the JPS team.
There's another car sandwiched in there.
Well, that's the Davison Kramer Mustang, which has been there since the start of the race.
Oh, the teammates, goodness me, the BMWs have put themselves out of business.
That's incredible.
I hope that the Australian public don't write us off as a real bad team, because it was the alternator that went, and Like you could look at the alternator and you could change it, and the one you changed could pack up. It was a diode inside which burned out. That can happen to a brand new diode or an old worn one.
A broken windscreen now for Peter Brock, and if he hasn't got enough problems today...
That'll be murder to see through that, and on the sunlight coming up pit straight. Turning left might not be so bad going up Mountain Straight, but across the top, all the refractions that'll be going through there, that's a tough job. You can see him bending and ducking his head more than normally, trying to pick a spot.
But John Goss is now getting into the car. We can see just how delicately the seat has been strapped into the vehicle. There are rather enormous cable ties that are stringing the seat to the roll bar. 4 new slick tyres have been fitted. These are the special Dunlop slick tyres, which when flat can be run on a racing circuit. The car has been fired up once again. And Gossie leaves the pits in a time, I should think, of around about 40 to 45 seconds.
But as that story unfolded, what more appropriate time to see Brock in for a very fast pit stop. The windscreen is now out. The leading Jaguar, driven by Tom Walkinshaw, is in the pits. Neil Crompton is down there checking out the action.
One of the crew is with me. Alan, what's happening?
It looks like an oil cooler's gone and leaking.
So the oil cooler has disintegrated. At the present time, there's oil pouring out from the front of the car. The bonnet is covered in oil. The windscreen is covered in oil. I can tell you something else that's happening as well. There's been a flag given to Peter Brock by the clerk, of course, to say that he must report to the pits, because if you remove your windscreen in Australian touring car racing, you must remove the rear window as well.
Yes, here he is going flat out.
He's
too.
taking the pit
Down
lane.
the curbs.
Watch the team go to work. This is where he takes on some passengers just for a moment.
Boom.
Boom. Goodbye, Pete. Super kick.
Close the door and away he goes. Quickest pit stop of all time. Yes, and up the head of the field, Johnny Goss still in car 10. Jaguar leads from 21. Ravalia in the BMW, and third now is 05 Peter Brock, and the gap from the leader John Goss to the third place getter Peter Brock is 1 minute and 11 seconds.
Well, the crew might be finished with car number 8, but Scott, Tom Walkinshaw certainly isn't finished, and the James Hardie 1000, just look at the acceleration over the speed humps, and Super Tom is back in the Hardie 1000. Here's the Brock crew. They're all sitting there staring. They want their boy, and he is closing on Roberto Ravalia, and here he comes from behind. No front windscreen, no rear windscreen. Air-conditioned mountain racing for Peter Brock as he storms down the outside, and the Brock crew are quite elated. Peter Brock looking for him heading towards the pit area.
Well, he's in the pits.
And after an absolute sensational run, Brock gesturing to mechanics what the problem is. And I think I heard someone shout, "Forget it." And all giving John Goss a marvellous reception as he pokes the number 10 car down to the exit of Valvoline Corner. And this the final lap of the 85 James Hardie 1000. The pressure is now off his shoulders, although he might be loose in the seat. Would you believe this? The man who instituted the 1-2.
Is he a pro?
Johnny Goss is going to engineer the 1-2 JRA Jaguar finish to Australia's great race. Chalk up 1. John Goss, the winner of the James Hardie Classic for 1985. Second place will go to Roberto Ravalia, and third place, after all those problems, will go to Tommy Walkinshaw. So a Jag 1-3.